What these two scholars, Ferguson and Smith, do is they look at 20 years of academic literature on the simple question of, are minorities, and specifically blacks, mistreated by the criminal justice system? They look at 50 different studies, going all the way back to 2005, so 2 decades of studies. And the authors say they find two remarkable things. First, this is probably their main conclusion, there is really no clear or identifiable bias against blacks in the criminal justice system. Some studies show a slight difference, but some other studies show a slight difference the other way. And the net effect of these studies is to show that there really doesn't seem to be any bias at all. Now, the second conclusion, which is perhaps the one that that takes you, that focuses your attention, is that scholars do studies, and even when the studies themselves don't show bias, the scholar writes up the article that accompanies the study as if there is bias. So in other words, the bias is with the scholar. And what we're hearing from this meta-analysis is that it is quite normal for academics. Obviously, these are academics of an inferior type, the Claudine Gays of this world. What they're doing apparently is massaging these studies, twisting them, finding small differences that are statistically insignificant and magnifying those. It's very easy, by the way, to do this. The way you do it is you violate the core principle of a study. The core principle of a study is to state in advance what is the criteria by which you're going to determine that something is biased or not. So, for example, let's say you say, I'm going to study whether or not there is injustice in sentencing in the criminal justice system, let's say between blacks and whites. So you want to say, I'm looking for a difference that is larger than 20%, or I'm looking for a difference that's larger than 15%. Because if there's a difference of 0.05%, there could be all kinds of factors that have caused this minuscule difference, and it's not a meaningful difference. It's not